Okay, so this is take 2 of the garden. It's June the 2nd. I did a video yesterday, but I did it with my phone vertical. So now we're going horizontal, so we'll have a better picture. So we'll start over here with the vinyl eaves troughs we've put up this year with the strawberry plants in it. We're growing 7 or 8 different varieties. We've got some felt pots here. And then this one, I haven't planted in it yet. I was going to do strawberries, but I think I'm actually going to try some lettuce or something. I don't know yet. So this is a sour cherry tree, a workstation. We'll come on back here toward the garden area. Now, down in here, I've got winter time, summertime, some lettuce, some Swiss chard. Oh, look, a couple of the pole beans have come up and the kale has started to sprout as well. Got some extra bags of mulch as I will be mulching more things in the garden as they come up. So into the garden area, we just close the gate. We'll start off in the greenhouse here. So I've taken out almost everything that I had planted in here the last week of February. So what I do have now is another lettuce, tomatoes, some more seedlings that I'd started. Still have to find a spot for those. Some bread poppy volunteers, tomato, some more things to plant, another tomato there, 5 different types of basil that I started, some more seedlings, the pak choi, just having stir fries to finish that up, and a few more seedlings. Now over here in this bed, we've got lettuces, alpine strawberries, some gold rush bush beans, 3 types of cabbages, some ruby carpet blueberries, bread poppies, dill, lettuce. That spinach patch there is for seeds, forage, clumping onions, and we've got 2 haskell berry bushes here. And the haskell berries are now ripening. They're ready for me to do some harvesting of those. So let's do the pots in this row here. We've got this beautiful, lovely pink Anova Rosa strawberry. And another strawberry pot there. In the little herb garden, we have some sage, some lemon thyme, some more thyme, some oregano, some volunteer lettuces. In the middle is the most delicious raspberries called raspberry shortcake. Then right here I've got 2 pots of carrots. First time growing them in pots, we'll see how that goes. And then along here got this is the first year we're going to get fruit off of this particular raspberry clump. This is New Eden thornless raspberry. So this tree here is a dwarf Japanese plum. There's a couple of fruits this year. They probably won't make it through, but it looks promising that next year we'll actually get some fruit from that. Now here's some more lettuce. There's the rosemary, a couple of cut and come again lettuces that we've already cut. Oh, missed this one. This is a snowy eggplant. Lemongrass. Some seedling garlic, chamomile. Have some goji berry that I started, some black einkorn wheat, lychee tomato, a huchel tobacco. It's a Mexican small tobacco, but I don't think they're coming up. They were old seeds. So I'll plant something else, a pepper in there. Okay, some peppers with some onions. Got one onion coming up. On this side, we've got tomatoes and parsley and onions and peppers. And this is a bronze fennel, cilantro, another pepper, and some little rock roses. Haven't grown those before. So down here at the end, see, got a grape that's coming up here at the end of the raspberries. Got some strawberries here, some blueberries, some lemon balm in pots, and some more chamomile. I have already harvested some. I'm going to have to obviously harvest more. That was a great big high patch of lemon balm that I've already harvested. It's all drying in the house right now. And some more lemon balm in pots. Have some Inca goldenberry here. And then got a large squash plant in this pot. And there's a yellow zucchini. Over here is tomatoes and onions, and tomatoes and parsley and onions, tomatoes and peppers and onions. And this is a Java tea. Along this side, this is the avocado. It started by seed. And then here are the 2 pots with sweet potatoes. And then that's an Altufa mango that we started from seed, as well as the dragon fruit. Here's our olive tree. This is a Schisandra vine. It hasn't come out of dormancy yet. It was planted not that long ago. Some more strawberries that I had just got yesterday and planted up. Some more blueberries. Blueberries, blueberries, and blueberries. I've got tomato here, and this I've got bold gold chamomile and edelweiss. So there's the edelweiss there, and the chamomile coming along, and another lychee tobacco. In this bed here and that one there, I've got some muskmelons. And then this tree here is the most delicious mulberry tree. And it's just loaded with mulberries. See if I'm able to get a picture so you can see. Let's see here, can you see all of that? They're just loaded this year with the mulberries. Some chives under there. And we get to our pumpkin patch. So I've got some pie pumpkins coming up here. That's a Japanese black futsu pumpkin. Some more pie pumpkins. Obviously I'm going to have to thin that out a bit. Just pick one, and then another light one there. So it's a small area. We can let a little bit of the vining come down into the path. But what we do is we string it all up along the fence. So we grow vertical wherever we can. And over here, this is the marshmallow, and another grape that we're trying to just train for one stalk to go up along the fence line there. So right here, this is our hardy kiwi. And if you can see here, all of the little flower buds, in the next week or so, they should all be opened up. This is the only hardy kiwi variety that's self-pollinating. Now, if I had a male, it would do better. It would give us more fruit. So I'd say, we might get 1 fruit out of every 4 flower buds, or 3. But if we had a male, then it would be a much higher rate. But it still gives us a lot of fruit, so that's good. This here, I'll come along this side, is our plum cod. And very exciting, this is our first year that we're going to have fruit on the plum cod, and it is everywhere. You can see some that aren't going to make it here, but looks promising for others. You can see in there, there's tons of fruit. So, what's next? Alright, so we've got a couple of Space Master cucumbers here. In this bed, that you can see we've got it all caged up and around with stucco wire. So I've got squashes on each side, and they're starting to come up. And then in the middle, I have some sweet corn. Over here, I have a pepper, a tomato, another tomato, more tomatoes, and I have onions in between, and there's volunteer dill. There's dill everywhere in the garden. I always let some go to seed, and then I just throw it all around in the fall, and so I've got dill coming up everywhere. I do that with a lot of my stuff, with lettuces and everything, so I always have things coming up wherever in the garden. So it's nice, you don't have to plant, and then they are germinating and growing at the perfect time for them. So we've got an eggplant here and another eggplant here. In this bed, oh dear me, that's not happy. Got a couple of strawberries falling over. So in this bed we've got some pole beans, and they're going to be coming up and around the top there. We have the Reichenbaching 14 comfrey. We have that comfrey 4 places in the garden for nice chop and drop. I've got onions, the red oric, and I have, Napa cabbage. That's it, the Napa cabbage. So this here is ginger bush, ibosa, the ginger bush. That's horseradish. Then we've got some lychee tomato, bush beans, cucumber. I'm going to have to thin that out. Some cucumber. And then in this tub, I've got Love Life's bleeding amaranth, tomato, bush beans, peppers. And here we've got, it's called Bloody Dock or Red Vein Sorrel. A rhubarb I planted this year, a couple of strawberries and onions. Also have some red poppies as well. Along the side of the greenhouse, these are strawberries. They came with the bare root, and so I'm just waiting for them to come out of dormancy. And these ones here have already, they were planted with those pots. They've come out of dormancy now along, and we just put that up this year as well. So while I'm here, we've got the potatoes. We're growing red Pontiac and 4 different varieties of fingerling potatoes. I've got tomatoes and peppers and onions in here. I've got some turnip and a kohlrabi, some Swiss chard. There's bread poppies and onions and all sorts of volunteer lettuce. In the middle there is a thornless blackberry bush. A couple of melon plants in that. The chives. Over on this side I've got 4 Inca golden berries and some more potatoes in their pots. Over here are tomatoes. Now the tomatoes in this row are paste tomatoes, but all of these tomatoes here that are doing quite well, those were all volunteers that came out of the greenhouse. So all I know is that there'll be a slicing variety. And a really nice, that's a Blanc de Colbert rose. So it's a incredible smelling rose, and I'm growing it for the rose hips mainly. And then over here we have our watermelon patch. I have to hack back all of that wild grape on the fence. But this is the watermelon patch. We're growing 4 watermelons in the front yard, but this is the backyard garden. So So we got some sugar baby. This area here is going to be for some thimbleberries that will be coming this week. Then we've got lemon drop, early Canada, and another rhubarb plant that I planted this year. And this crazy thing here, that's our goji berry plant. It's insane. Now what do I have? Okay, so over here, this just came this year. This is a Cadota fig, and again a pepper and tomato and onions. We've got bush beans and cabbages in this garden, and then peppers and onions in that next one. Right here we've got climbing strawberry. We've got 4 climbing strawberries. Right here is another Schisandra vine that's coming out of dormancy. It was planted earlier. And on the other side of it is another climbing strawberry. And down here in the path I have lots of volunteer cosmos. Again, just letting things go to seed every year, and then they just come up on their own. It's nice. In this pot I've got pole beans and I think that's a broccoli. Is that a broccoli or a cabbage? Broccoli. Now let's go down in here. So we've got the peas growing along the fence, and then service berry, a Saskatoon berry, and we have the odd asparagus that still comes up. These were asparagus beds, but the weeding was too hard, so we only have a bit of asparagus left. Now it's the Saskatoon berries, and we've got the peas there. I have my carrots and another Saskatoon berry bush. I started this one from seed, and we've got some beets, and the forget-me-nots are at their end of the year. Some more comfrey, and that's a squash there. I've got broccoli, a volunteer sunflower. I have kale coming up, onions, climbing strawberry, and some clumping onions. Let's see here. Oh, by accident I pulled out much of the bee balm, so I only have a bit of bee balm left. But I've got Chinese yams here, all these Chinese yams, and another one coming up right there with the peas, so they'll do really nicely. Chinese yams are a perennial vegetable, as well as Good King Henry, which is all in here. And I've got cilantro growing. I'm letting this cilantro go to seed. It's a variety that I want a lot of seed, so I'm growing it elsewhere for kitchen use. And some more peas that have to be told to get to the fence. So this is another delicious mulberry. The other one's an Italian variety. This is Illinois everbearing, and again it is got loads of fruit this year, so that's really exciting. So this is another caged inside, and on the one side I have cucumbers, in the middle I have corn, and then on this side I've got some more squash. And again, volunteer dill everywhere. In the corner, I have a rhubarb. I've made 3 rhubarb pies already, and like I say, it's June 2nd. And then this variety of raspberry we brought with us from British Columbia. In the middle is a bunch of heritage raspberries. I don't really like the summer one. They're really small and seedy, but their fall, the fall raspberries they give off are quite delicious. And then down at the end here, we have a purple raspberry. And there's another picture of the goji berry there. Now in this bed, I had planted Dakota Black popping corn. I grew it a few years ago, saved the seed, but the seeds just didn't germinate this year, so I just replanted that with a sweet corn variety, Astronomy Domine. It's a multicolored sweet corn. This is the very best sorrel in the world. It won't bolt on you. It's absolutely delicious. It's called Profusion, and it's from Richter's Herbs. And another tomato. And then here, this, going up and up and up, that's our blackberries. We started off with 2 blackberry plants, and look at it now. It's crazy. There's a ginkgo. And then what do I have here? I've got the Chinese Cromwell, more tomatoes and onions, and the beets, and I think that is what we have. I've covered everything in the yard. Oh, another Inca goldenberry right here on this side. So we get a lot of food every year. More strawberries, and this is a pot with a butternut squash, a little baby butternut squash. So you can grow a lot of food in the city.